began back in San Diego in April 1946.
This story should appeal to Mr. Hoover because what I hear of his love of sport. Well, I feel a little younger now. Let's get down to the bottom of it. What's the Lockheed for leadership? I don't know of anything more worthwhile today. I'll take the Fifth Amendment. Doing a goddamn good job and getting some more business. I think I'm old enough. I want to get married. Well, I had a good number of things on my mind in the lab this week since I saw you, but that's not been one of them.
Just got out of Harvard business. I'm interested as hell in general dynamics and astronautics in particular. Now, I'm not an engineering type person, but I do want to learn the missile business, and while my talents, I would imagine, would lie mainly in the managerial end. If there's a way for it to be connected with engineering, I'd sure like it.
I don't know how familiar you are with our organization.
I've done some research.
Really? Mm-hmm.
Well,
Under Moore Rosenbaum, who is chief engineer, the areas of way out design, hotbeds, or
the futuristic,
or what do you want to call them, which is very technical.
Where do you think a person like me would best fit into the engineering group?
Well, this is what I was talking about, either in Paul Ferrara's group, where...
The engineers run the factory, don't they?
No.
They don't?
Engineers do nothing.
is John P. Hoffman, factory manager at Convair Astronautics. Production is his business, but let's look back a few years. The scene is the Rochester Municipal Airport. The time, 1922. At the controls of this flying machine is John Hoffman, ready to test his newly designed aircraft, the Gray Goose. His assistants, Dick Keene and Lee Ely, have worked hard for this. They both want this to be a record-breaking goose. The goose laid an egg that day. You can't break the sound barrier every time, said Hoffman, but he took the goose with him to Taylor Aircraft in 1928. There it was renamed the Taylor Cub. And this is William H. Patterson, assistant to the division manager of astronautics himself. Patterson was with the Atlas program when the Atlas was thicker than a dime, but high on a windy hill overlooking the little town of Fort Benton, Montana, we see Patterson the youth. Before he became one of the workhorses of the early space age, testing his homemade bird, the first bird to be powered by red-fuming nitric acid and unsymmetrical dimethylhydrazine. And away it goes. Among the newsmen in Fort Benton that day was Chuck Newton, sent out by Mad magazine to cover this historic event. Charles S. Ames, Jr., Atlas Program Director. And again, let's turn back the pages to 1935 on a farm near San Francisco where Charlie Ames is about to test hop a new airplane, a radical design that came to him while reading Tom Swift and His Electric Grandmother. To the general public, this looked like a failure. But Charlie and those behind the scenes knew that all test objectives were met that day except one: flying. Another pioneer, William E. Bowman, today the Chief of Industrial Security at Convair Astronautics, but yesterday, about to push the frontiers of science beyond Cincinnati, we see Bill Bowman making an effort to prove that Leonardo da Vinci's theory of birds in flight was a good one. After many months of work on his ornithopter, Bill is ready to give it a go. Undaunted, Bowman, with the help of fellow airman Frank Cook, tries again. And still, once more from a loftier launching pad. Both Bowman and Cook, after this, began to check the opportunities in other parts of the industry. Convair Astronautics Chief Engineer, Mort Rosenbaum, talented, serious, and scientific, but young in heart. Mort is active in the senior division of the Hot Rodder Society and wrote a definitive book on the subject called Every Car Should Have Bucket Seats. Here we see Mort with his modified Apperson Jackrabbit. Notice the gimbling carburetors. When the wheels finally retracted, this one-man sports car rally and flight test was aborted. Mort said, "It makes my seat smart." James W. Crooks, Jr., our missile guidance expert, and one of the original members of Charlie Bossett's Atlas team. Jim began his career in Frankfort, Kansas. It's D-1, and we see him during the conduct of his first flight readiness test, along with Phil Culbertson, his fellow propulsion engineer. Time, D-Day, T-minus 30 seconds. Jim dons his space helmet. He tests the structural integrity of his wings, and then he's off. Propulsion engineer Culbertson is having difficulty igniting the RP-1. Ever alert, Fire Chief Anderson and his big bucket. Always good-natured, Jim simply said, "Bet your mort seat never smart like this."
Convair, I think this is same throughout General Dynamics, but they have a plan wherein they pay for the moving of an employee when he comes to a new location.
We have different plans depending upon where he's coming from, whether he's a new hire, whether he's a transfer, where he transfers to.
Mm-hmm.
But to answer your question, for new hires, we pay for moving and transportation and for the employment and per diem for 7 days after you get.
I have this sloop in Long Island. I don't know whether to bring it out through the canal or overland, and I don't know what the situation would be on a thing like that.
No, we wouldn't move it.
It doesn't include any recreational type thing. If you have an airplane, you fly it out yourself.
You can't. You won't be reimbursed for it. We don't. That's another problem. Because the insurance covers. But we pay for 2 automobiles if you have 2 on the set.
Yeah.
We pay for up to 8,000 pounds of household stuff.
So how do you keep a control on employee policies, say, off-site?
Well, we have a policy direction overall with outside bases, which is 14. And then I have an employee who reports to me with a group of people reporting to him on site that control the operations of off-site industrial relations.
You're throwing a pretty big share.
Yeah, been working at it myself.
I have here model of the Atlas intercontinental ballistic missile. This missile, originally devised to be a weapon, turns out to have great potentialities in space applications. One of the principal versions we have great hope in is the Centaur version. In the Centaur application, the Atlas tank is modified by removing the conical portion of the top of the tank and making the entire tank cylindrical. The missile is now ready to accept, through the intermediate of an adapter, the Centaur vehicle. The Centaur vehicle is capable of putting some 4 tons of payload in 300-mile orbit, which indeed is right now quite advanced in our space possibilities.
Say, friend, are you embarrassed by a tired thrust-to-weight ratio, a sick specific impulse, Do others say that you don't have what it takes to get out of this world? That you can't achieve escape velocity? Honestly, friends, is that you? I'll tell you what we're going to do. Right now, during our D-Series closeout sale, we're offering a super deluxe, test-proven Atlas intercontinental ballistic missile for the unbelievable and unheard of and unmatched price of $1,999,000.98. No money down. Easy terms to suit your national budget. An unmatched, unparalleled, unequaled bargain, friends. This custom-cut, sleek little beauty doesn't use expensive hydrogen or fluorine. It uses inexpensive oxygen and dirt-cheap kerosene. Don't let this opportunity pass, folks. Get your custom-cut, correctly crafted, classy Atlas today. Be the first on your continent to have this out-of-this-world capability. And remember, friends, we stock the finest selection of used Atlas parts in the business.
All right, fellas. Today is the X-1 talk. Alle Kinder come, we get the work started. The Atlas is standing here good, yeah? Today pretty good. Sometimes the bulkhead is outgepooped, but today pretty good. All right, looks good. Fine. We start the count. First we check the engines. Fire's fitting good. Next, ja, Zusa. Zusa good. Hold everything. We check again. The boiler valve is working. How about the bulkheads? Bulkhead's good. Time is now T-minus 4 minutes, and we have to call Mr. Mock. All right. Let's see. Takes money, yeah. Hold. No. Yeah. All right, we call it. 12 and 20, yeah. Same, yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. Nickel. Hello, Mark. You there? Yeah, what you doing? Fooling with the secretary. It's all right. Hey, we're ready to start the count. You got Rosenbaum on the wire? Yeah, keep him waiting. He's a big schlemiel. He's a dope, yeah. He should worry. We do all the work. He sits in the office and gets the big pay. All right, everything okay? Yeah. Missile is, it's not bad, but it's not good. We try anyway. Maybe this time it won't work. What do we care? Okay, Mark. Goodbye. All right, fellas, now we start with the count. The time is now T-minus 10 Minuten. Test conductor's console. 10, 9, 8, 7. Status checked. Good. Vier, 3, 2. reducing the data, we find even though the missile didn't get off the stand, 98% of all the objectives were achieved. There goes a Titan. Oh, yeah. It's going there.